Hi, travelers. Tara here. I'm bringing you guys an open reading today. Before I get started, let me give y'all an update on what's happening with me. First, I want to thank everybody who participated in the August reading special. Some of you I have never read for before. And so it was really interesting to actually read for you. I really like using the Zoom platform and giving those readings because then I can actually put a face. Now I know what y'all were saying when y'all were telling me, you need to put your face up there so that I could actually see your faces and put a face to the name. So now I get it. So I want to thank you for those people who were new and came in. For those of you who have been with me for a while, I want to thank you for participating and coming back because it's always good to catch up with you guys. And then there was a few people that showed up that I haven't seen or heard from since I gave you an Akashic reading. And so it was good to see where you were in terms of how effective that Akashic reading was for you. And so for those of you who, got that Akashic reading and you're working on it, you're doing it, you have done it, pat yourself on the back. So that was great. As you guys know, I live here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And so we had a storm. Marco was supposed to come up around our area. And fortunately and unfortunately, Marco has decided to move away from us. And I say unfortunately because I never ever, if you've never been through a hurricane, trust me, you don't want to go through one. So for those people that are on that portion of the Gulf, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, maybe even into Houston, know that my thoughts are with you. It looks as though right before I came on camera that it was going to be strengthening a bit. And that's been the weird thing about the hurricanes that have been coming in lately is they usually when they approach land, sometimes the intensity of the storm will fall. But over the past number of years, they come in, it's like they stall out, they slow down a little bit, and then they gather more steam, they become a little bit stronger, and then they just come right on in. So this is a strange time that we're in. And yesterday morning, well, let's see, I don't know what today is. I think it's Sunday. I think so. The 23rd. Yeah. So I think around Thursday, my neighbor across the street, I'm always talking about her, right? She texted me and she goes, you know what, girl? We got 3 more months of the hurricane season. You may as well put your hurricane shutters up. So we got out on the ladders, me, her, and my daughter, and put the hurricane shutters up over the windows. And my mailman was asking me yesterday, he goes, hey, those are pretty cool. Are those sunshades? I'm like, hell no, these are hurricane shades. And the windows look like they're in bondage because there's this fabric with these black studded tabs on them that I can attach around. So it's kind of funny. But it has been keeping the front of my house cool because it's been extremely hot here. More so than last year. It's hot in South Texas anyway, but this year has been ridiculously hot. And so we got up, my daughter and I got up yesterday, and I don't know if y'all have ever been through a hurricane, but there's a lot of preparation you got to do. You want to get your grass cut. That's first and foremost. Then you want to, get your windows and stuff covered in case. Then you want to move anything, plants, anything that can fly around or be damaged, and you want to try to get them out of the way of any type of wind damage. And so we spent yesterday getting my rain barrels reset up. We had to do some landscaping, put some dirt down to level out some areas, and some gravel on the top, and some landscape fabric, and tamp it down so that when the water came down, it would run down the right way. So I mean, it's been crazy. I'm learning a whole bunch of weird things. Then we cleaned out the gutters. So that's what I did yesterday, only to come in after all of that work and find out that the storm is not coming here. But there are 2 more disturbances coming off the coast of Africa. This is where all of the hurricanes in the Atlantic start. And the height of hurricane season it doesn't start until September, right? And it ends in November. So we still have a ways to go. And I have been here in Corpus. I moved here at the millennium. And all of the old timers are saying, we're due for a big storm. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We will just see. Harvey was pretty bad. I was here during Harvey, didn't get a chance to get out in time because it was such an erratic storm. And so that's the thing about hurricanes is you do get the opportunity to prepare ahead of time and to evacuate should you need to. But then this is a new wrinkle because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So where are you going to go? Where are you going to be welcomed? Where are you going to go in which you can not only be safe from potential, death from the hurricane, but also how are you going to keep yourself safe if you have to go shelter in, a place or with other people? Where are you going to go? And so that's a whole new wrinkle to what's happening. So that's what's going on with me. It is what it is. Usually, I've been on pins and needles because it really is kind of it's not something that you can change, you know what I mean? Because it's a natural phenomenon. And so there's nothing you can really do about it. But that anxiety of, getting everything ready. Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? How am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And in Corpus, there's only one way in and one way out of this place. Nobody comes to Corpus unless they're coming to Corpus. It's not on the way to any place else. So, then you got last time I think, was it Harvey? People got stuck on the highway evacuating. I mean, come on. So it's just, you got to map out a route and figure out how to go where you got to go. You got to have all your stuff together and you got to, have cash. And so, for a lot of people, they don't have cars, they don't have cash, they don't have any place to go. So it's a stressful kind of a thing. I think if I had my druthers in terms of weather events, a hurricane, I'd take a hurricane any day over a tornado. Because like I said, you've got days, sometimes a week to start planning for the eventuality of a landfall over your area with the hurricane. Tornadoes just come out of the sky, and the ones who come at night are even more dangerous, and sometimes you don't have time to do anything. I grew up in Mississippi, so tornadoes happen there frequently. So anyway, what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and bring you an open reading today. I'm going to be using my Santa Muerte deck, okay? We will clarify as best we can with La Vida Sibila. I will be giving you the intuitive reading today. Website members, by the time you view this, by the time I take this live, I'm going to schedule it, but by the time I take it live, you're going to have an open reading and a romance open reading up on the website, okay? And I will start working on the for everybody. I'm going to start working on the September monthlies to be posted up here to the channel. If you would like to get a reading with me of any kind, any sort, because I have several different types of readings, many different price points, you can click on the eye that's going to show up here. That'll take you directly over to the website. Sign up for the newsletter, because the newsletter is usually where I will announce, what do you call it? Any kind of special or anything like that. I just kind of also keep you updated on new articles that are coming out on the website. And so that's that. So hopefully this camera won't cut off, but if it does, I will restart it. Oh, and by the way, Pippa, I think I have the original copy of the follow-up that I did for you. You said it cut off. I'm going to see if I can post that, send it back to you so you can see the full thing. And Crystal K, you, beauty, are the bomb. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's, oh, and Ari, if you're watching, I'm going to contact you soon because things have changed. So we'll set up a time to do a reading for you. Maybe we'll bring in the charts and everything, okay? So let me turn the camera around. I have already done some shuffling, and I just got a feeling this thing's fixing to shut off and fixing to shut off right away. But like I said, I will fix it. And so let's see I don't know what, I think Uranus just went retrograde. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you that sometimes planets become stronger in their retrograde phase. And Uranus being the sky god rules thunder, lightning, storms, electricity, but he's sitting in the sign of Taurus. He always, if you think about Uranus as representing the tower in the card, the tower is that idea of unexpected things. In the sign of Taurus, this is going to be about your personal finances. This is going to be about the money, all that you own, earn, or owe. Your 401k, your stocks, your shares, your bonds, your insurance, your mortgages, your rent, your condo, your house, your apartment, the land you live on. But additionally, being in the sign of Taurus, this is going to be about because you can look at things like property and land, those material things that you own, being representative of Taurus. Having Uranus here is going to speak to some kind of shakeups. It always speaks to unexpected things that are going to happen around your home, your homeland. Normally you would think that would be Cancer, but this is basically, and it is, but Taurus is basically those things, material things that you own, and the value that you associate with it. Whether this is a financial, monetary value, or whether this is some kind of, oh, hi, honey, personal value that you have, my daughter. Hey, honey, come here. Go ahead and make yourself some breakfast and get out there. Let's get out there and get that grass mowed, and let's edge and trim on the front, right? All right. Hey, Hannah, it was 75 degrees this morning when I woke up. Oh my God. Ain't that great? The reason why we're all happy about that is, it's because it's letting us know that fall's coming. Because usually during the summer when we wake up, it's already 90 degrees outside at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. So, we've got some stuff to do. Some more stuff to do. So, that's what I wanted to tell you about Uranus and Taurus. We still have that configuration, that stellium and Pluto of the South Node, stellium and Pluto in Capricorn of South Node, Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. They have Saturn has retrograded back into Capricorn. So, with that being said, we're going to put 9 cards down and see what Madrina has to say. The Ace of Wands. Nope, I'm sorry, the 10 of Wands. Now, isn't that funny because those are hip bones? But literally, when you're dealing with Santa Muerte, red always brings about passion. Sometimes it is about love. It is about sexual passion. But the seat of your creative power comes from your sexual center. Your, I want to say your 3rd chakra. Okay? The 6 of Pentacles. The 4 of Swords. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can get a better light on this. So just bear with me a second. The 9 of Pentacles. Let me get up so because I want to show you these cards. They are absolutely gorgeous. Let me see here. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, there we go. So there is your ace. I'm sorry, your 10 of Wands. See that? The detailing on this is beautiful. The 6 of Pentacles. The 4 of Swords. Hold it up so you can see it without a glare. The 9, if I'm not mistaken, it might be 9, it might be a 6. I can't really tell. I think this is a 6. Nope. Wait a minute. That's the 9 of Pentacles. I'm sorry, that's the 9 of Pentacles. And this is the 6 I don't know why I couldn't count that. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's the 9. Sorry. And that's the 6. Well, yeah, see, it's got the 6 on there. See, I'm just like not with it today. Okay? So, 10 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, the Moon. Now, we do have a full moon coming up pretty soon. We just had a new moon pass us by on the 18th. It's the Page of Swords. You know, he reminds me of some other card in a different deck. The Hierophant. There's our Taurian energy. The Two of Swords. Oh, isn't that interesting? Pair of Scissors. And the Four of Wands. Now, this is quite interesting because this to me does appear to be some kind of financial work, creative project going on here. Right in the center, I have the Moon. I only have one. I have two. What do you call it? Court cards. Page of Swords, and oh no, only one. Page of Swords and the Four of Wands. The Ace of Cups is over the whole reading. So I have 1, 2 wands, 1, 2, 3 swords, 2 pentacles, and 2 major arcana cards. Wow, wow, wow. Do I have an additional number of 10s? I don't. I have a 4, a 6, a 9. I have 2 4s. The 4 of Swords and the 4 of Wands. 2 4s speak to a house move or relocation. I've seen it show up sometimes when you're remodeling and doing things. 2 4s also speak to a safe and secure time period. And I think this is true. I think that for some of you, that there have been new conditions that have come in or new circumstances that have entered the picture. The Ten of Wands says that to me, that it's been a struggle for you. You had to go all the way from the Ace to the 10 to get there. So that meant, you had to, work through some things. Maybe there may have been conflicts, but yet and still, your desire for this has never changed. It's never want. And now it's culminated. The 6 of Pentacles with this grandfather clock. It's telling me something. I don't know if this is 6 years. Usually that's what the Pentacles represent. But this idea, just the fact that it's a clock, lets me know that you've been waiting. There's been some time that has passed by. And now, quote unquote, the hour has arisen. Maybe you have taken the opportunity to close down something, okay? Or seal it up, or put it to the side. Prepare a resting kind of a thing. One nail has already been sunk. Nope. One nail is being sunk. The other 3 are still lying there. 1, 2, 3. So I think this tells me that there are 3 things, either ideas or emails, maybe phone calls, faxes, messages, because that's what swords represent. Um, Three more levels of communication that you're going to have to go through. Maybe this is the preparation for the first one. That nail's in the coffin and it's done. Um, but the nine, you've already accumulated these things. And it's as though you are poised to pull in one more coin for yourself. Now, I'm going to read these for you because they're giving me a lot of different messages. I don't know if there has been some kind of confusion surrounding this or some kind of, what do you call it? Maybe like there's this nebulousness to it. There's this dream-like state to it. There's this quality to it that maybe it doesn't necessarily all seem real, because we go from the Six of Pentacles to the Moon to the Two of Swords. And as I always say to you, swords, the twos represent some kind of choice, option, duality, opposition. Whether this is someone actively opposing you and what you're trying to do or what you think or what you say, or you are opposed within yourself. You're not quite sure, what it is that you're supposed to be doing or how you are doing it. This tells me that there is some news coming in, and I don't know if this news is, this is the Hierophant, and normally the Hierophant, when he shows up, will speak about some kind of guru or some kind of person who heads up an organization, someone perhaps who has quote unquote the final word, or is the link between you and those higher up. So sometimes he can represent colleges and universities and heads of state, not heads of state, but people who sit in positions of authority. Okay, I don't know what he's doing with the Ouija board, but I think that has something to do with this. I keep getting the sense that you're being told, I put it before the board, literally. I put it before the people. I put it before, right? And I'm waiting to hear back from them, or they're looking at some things, or we're waiting back for an answer. And maybe this Two of Swords is the idea that you're not exactly sure how that decision is going to go. Yeah? That indeed, it could be very fraught with changes, particularly if this is a contractual issue. Sometimes he will show up like that. Nevertheless, this Four of Wands, here you are with your little booth set up, ready to do whatever it is that you do. Yeah? See, she's got her hand on a chest, your money box, your chest, your things with your treasures, and you have a few wares there to sell. Let's see what the advice of the dead has to tell us. And I was just going to give you the intuitive reading, but there's a lot of messages coming forth out of this. So I think it would be better if I did read you the advice of the dead for each card. And maybe I can pinpoint a more specific message. There are lots of messages here. Particularly here across this row. Okay? So we will start with the 10. So we know that's a changing situation. Yes? All 10s are changes. So this talks about a new fire in your belly, a new creative project, a new something starting. Let me find these wands. I keep saying I'm going to fix this book because I can never find anything in it. You know, I got another deck of cards that are like that. Chalices. There's the moon. Let me go back. Here we go. The advice of the dead. Do not leave too many situations suspended, or they will get the better of you in terms of achieving what you desire. That's the clock. The clock is ticking. The hour 6 o'clock is upon you. Okay? In fact, it's kind of stopped there. We see it's in mid swing. Okay? That's what the cards are saying. The 6 of Pentacles. Proceed with audacity and without haste, working hard and keeping yourself focused on the present. What you desire will arrive when the time is right. That's these cards. 4 of Swords. I don't know what this is about. You know, if you recognize this story, you know what this is about. Yeah? Where are my swords here? Here we go. The 4 of Swords. Remain calm, wait, and use this moment of stasis to study and think deeply about all that you need for the near future. I mean, literally, it's like telling a story. Yeah? Properly evaluate the limits within which you can expand, and you will manage to realize and consolidate even beyond what you can see and touch. Let me read that again. Properly evaluate the limits within which you can expand, and you will manage to realize and consolidate even beyond what you can see and touch. That's what coins represent. It's anything that you can see, touch, feel, smell. Okay, the physical realm, the third dimensional realm. Some of you may be getting ideas coming to you through the dream world. You're being prompted to write those down. Get those down. If you pick your phone up, turn your voice recorder, record these things down. That's what I'm getting. Okay? I don't know why the cards are telling you this, but pay attention. Maybe this is an active time. The cards say, trust, this is the moon, trust your intuition, but continue to listen and to observe what surrounds you so that you can discern its true nature. So I say, some of you are not quite sure what this thing is or how it's going to play out. Well, I mean, you just don't. Sort of like me with the hurricane, and maybe that's why I told y'all all that stuff. Even though I don't know if it's coming or if it's not coming, I'm going to prepare just like it is. Okay? So, Page of Swords. Be prepared by evaluating all the possible openings or outlets through which the situation could degenerate and vent. In other words, have all of your arguments and your facts ready. Okay? If it goes this way, be prepared to, I don't want to say fight your case, but to state your case. Back it up with facts and with reason. Okay? That's what the cards are telling me. The Hierophant. Once you have analyzed the situation with foresight, your means and what you are able to communicate, proceed towards your objectives and your ideas. In other words, look the situation over and look down the road. Look at the means that you have. Okay? Whatever your resources are that you have. Okay? And then what are you going to be able to communicate? Right? And when you can do this, you can proceed towards your objectives. But here is the choice. And I don't know what this choice is for you, or if this is just, so to speak, a snafu. I'm going to read you the full meaning. The moment at hand seems particularly difficult because something is not working, as if the two blades are working against each other instead of collaborating. Therefore, the Two of Swords pushes for a confrontation, for the attainment of an alliance, which in the end will find a balance capable of inverting and separating the contrast and the diversities. This will transform them into points of strength and cooperation. So there's somebody opposed against you, I think. Maybe it's you. We'll look at this card. The advice of the dead says, you can put your trust in others only afterwards. So therefore, work now to clear things and to reach a point of meeting between the two conflictual questions. I'm going to look at this card and this card. Here we have the Four of Wands. Now, most people look at the Ace of Cups as though it is simply about love. I've seen this card show up when there are some new financial opportunities, a new project that's coming your way, a new offer that has been presented to you, which has the possibility to change everything, okay? Four of Wands. Make the most of this moment of stability so that you can fully enjoy and benefit from what you have gained. So some kind of break is coming. I don't know what or for who. So I'm going to look at this Page of Swords. Because sometimes the Page of Swords can be somebody who brings you news, but they can be quite nasty to deal with. Maybe those conflictual questions. Maybe they're just being, for lack of a better term, playing devil's advocate, and they're making things difficult for you. Yeah? And that might be flustering you in terms of how you're going to present your ideas or yourself, and they may even be causing a bit of self-doubt. Okay? And this card is telling you that not necessarily that all is not lost. I just think this is a balance point. The Two of Swords represents a tipping point. So you're going to have to figure out how to bring these things together so that you can achieve what you want to achieve. Let's look at this Page of Swords. An enemy. The Gran Signore. And the Letter. Now, there's two things about the La Nemica. For the most part, the La Nemica is an unknown enemy, typically a female. But sometimes it will show up where there's a male on the other side, and this can say that this enemy is actually a male. It is somebody perhaps that you used to be fond of, or that you've had good relationships with, but for some reason, the two of you have fallen out, or you have a disagreement. Now, you want to be careful with this person, because this person will make it their life's work to make your life miserable. The words are, you must die so that I may live. Definitely, you're going to be getting some kind of letter or news from this person. Now, this card, the Letter, says that it's going to either come through the post, an email, fax, phone call, text message, even a package to be signed for. Okay, it's not, sometimes it can be rather generic, where you may hear something on TV. You may find out something on the news, on the radio. Okay, but basically it just tells you that there is news coming, and it is imminent. I can't even talk. So, you know, you don't want to, what keeps coming across is, make sure that you have all of your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Okay, and be prepared to state your case. I don't necessarily know that this is a legal We shall see what the Two of Swords has to say. I just get the sense that the time is coming closer for this to be resolved. It's just something about the clock. I can't tell you what that is. And I think many of you are beside yourselves and you're not seeing the situation as you should. Something that's being reflected back. I want you to look at that card. See, from the back, she looks like a perfectly full female with skin and bones, right? But her reflection in the mirror is that of her actual skull, her skeleton. So there's something being reflected back at you that I don't quite know what that is or what it means. All right. Alegria. Limoneo. Interesting. Holy shit. And the Yardro. Excuse my language. This gives a whole new meaning to this set of cards now. Because even though this can still be, that still stands true, that this person could be a man. Okay? This Lanamika. Now, with the addition of these cards here, this is telling me that this is someone connected to him. Now, I don't know if this is telling me you're going to get a letter about these two people maybe getting back together. I don't know. Okay? Or that he receives a letter from her that kind of throws things in the mix. It brings something to a halt. The reason why I say this is we have the Alegria. This card is basically about your social connections, those people you spend time with and you have fun with. It could also represent, people that you hang out with just in a bar. This card represents, I had to start over because I saw it shut down, represents your social connections, people that you like to hang out with and you have fun with. It can also represent fair weather friends, people that you meet socially at a bar. Not close friends, but just people. And it can also indicate any place, a bar, a pub, someplace where people gather together to make merriment and drink. Here we have the Limoneo. This is the promise. This represents any kind of contractual issue in which two people stand up or they agree upon something, whether it be a written contract or a spoken contract or even a handshake. Okay? It speaks to, normally in good times, it speaks to love, romance, if the ring, sometimes even a proposal. And a proposal can come, a business proposal, or it could be an actual proposal. It usually represents good times and positivity, love and happiness and joy. But then the thief comes to take this opportunity away. This is a negative change and something creeps in to change it. This is why we have these Two of Swords. In other words, there's going to be some conflict that's going to come up. And you're going to have to figure out, I don't necessarily want to say negotiate, but that kind of comes across. Have your P's and Q's, have everything. Because what we see is you here by yourself, right? You still land in a stable position. There's still some stability here, all right? But it looks as though you might be having to go this alone. Still stands true. This could either be, it's a rare case where the Lanamika will show up like a male, but that's a possibility. But also the other possibility that maybe this is his ex. Okay? Maybe this is you and him. Like I said, y'all done had a falling out. Right? But also this could be just him who's become your enemy. It's a rare interpretation, but I have to give it to you. So with that being said, we're going to pull one card, the Golden Nostradamus, to see what he can see and what he can tell us about this situation a little bit more. I want you to be aware that I do feel for some of you that this is maybe goes back to 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. It's the time factor. On the 6th, of a month, perhaps. Um, let me take a look at something. It could be telling me directly it's the, well, the full moon occurs on the 2nd of September, and the new moon comes on the 17th. Six weeks, perhaps, from the full moon of August 3rd to the new moon of 17 September. That's 6 weeks. A full moon cycle. All right, we passed two full moons and 2 new moons. The anchor. Wow. Okay. Do not dream of pie in the sky. You can only fall when flying on high. And there was something I was going to mention about that. She's got this cup next to her. And sometimes the moon card can be about drugs and alcohol, altered states of being, and you're being asked to get really clear on this, okay? Continue along your path and do not veer off the beaten track. Change will not be favorable at this time, and you are not ready. You should decide to be cautious and balanced. This is an opportunity. It doesn't mean that it's actually in the works yet. It's an opportunity. What are you going to do with it? That's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. I hope I didn't confuse you. But if I did, you can always go get yourself a personal reading. So, until next time, namaste.